week, the Clemson Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Clemson will kick off to get us underway. Looks like he's going to bring it out. He gets a block. He's got an alley. Wide open, and it's a foot race. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. He is a field-flipping machine. Take it on one end, return it to the other.
And now you get to celebrate. What a beautiful job. We always talk about defense. We always talk about offense. But, man, when your special teams come through for you and score, it is huge, and it provides such a boost for the crowd.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the extra point makes it 7-0. Well, I'd say that's quite a way to make an early statement. Take the opening kickoff and run it all the way back for a touchdown. And he's going to bring this one out. Slips through the line. Oh, what vision. He's going to get loose. He will score. Touchdown, Clemson. Boy, nothing electrifies a stadium quite like a return for a touchdown.
It's always so exciting because you don't see them very often. You got to go so many yards, 80, 90 yards at a time. What a great job by the returners, showing the speed, providing the electricity. There's a reason they're all jacked up, and it's because of that awesome kickoff return.
Extra point here will tie the game. And the extra point was good. You get a return like that, and it can't just be the guy with the ball who's right. Everybody has to do a job, and they did that in brilliant fashion on that one. From inside his own 15, trying to follow his blockers. Is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Use the play fake, now to throw. Fires to the middle. Complete downfield. And perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle as they get him down at the 37. You go with the first snap of the game, and you make a big play like that, your confidence just soars.
And I don't know if the defense was sleepwalking here, Reese, but it's almost as if they didn't know the game had actually started. They were just kind of lethargic in the back end. I don't think they were anticipating this offense taking a shot on the first play.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there, and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down.
Yeah, and you're going to see this offense find different ways to get this running back involved. It's not just going to be on handoffs, and they're certainly going to line him up in different places and even throw him the football. But the screen game's a big part of it, too. They're trying to get him going there.
Finding an escape route. And he gets it inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 9, where it'll be first and goal.
There's a lot of ways to run the football. You can do it conventionally, handing it off. You can do it with the QB run. How about getting the wide receiver involved, though, on the reverse. Perfectly executed. He's able to get to the outside. That's a really nice gain for the offense.
And he was looking into the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You simply don't see that very often. A quarterback of this guy's caliber missing a guy wide open in the end zone. He makes those throws in his sleep.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Looking to fire. Snags it. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
Well, short completion setting up third down now. Who is your best playmaker that you can target in this area of the field?
A third and goal, and this defense feeling energy from the crowd. Off the bootleg, looking to fire. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Fighting Irish.
Love the quick decision-making by the quarterback. It's not just who's the open guy and who am I throwing it to. It's also having that clock, David, in your head that says, if no one's open and I'm down near the red zone, I'm taking off now and I'm using my athleticism and I'm getting a score.
Yeah, you love the decision-making. I hate the defense. Why are we dropping back so far in the end zone? We got to keep eyes on this QB. We know he can take off. We know he can make plays. The field shrinks, man. You got to expect that's coming. Not very good defense.
And the extra point was good to finish things off. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And he's coming out of the end zone. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. They knock him down, but not before he gets it out to the 21-yard line. Pick up a 4.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle him, wear him out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard games just because of the body blow effect.
And that's why for the offensive coordinator, you've got to find as many ways as possible to get this guy going. Just get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't need to be a throw deep down the field. He's so dynamic when he has the ball in his hands. You saw it right there.
From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Using his legs, it's Rasmussen. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
They'll run play action. Working that left side now. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
Well, the short passing game is a great go-to for any offensive coordinator in the first quarter because it's reliable, but it also allows you to see how the defense is going to react and play. So this can certainly open things up later on.
Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Makes the grab. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down.
I mean, good news here, they get the completion. Bad news, though, not enough to pick up the first down. The target there, he's got to do a better job understanding where the first down marker is, make sure he gets the right depth on his route. Now, all of a sudden, head coach has a big decision to make.
Give to the fullback. And the first guy couldn't get him, but the second one does, but not until he picks up the first down. This has become almost automatic. 4th and 1, go for it. They did, and they got it.
No doubt about it. No discussion. I don't need to consult my offensive coordinator. I don't need to consult my defensive coordinator. We're going for that, and we're going to get it, and we're going to go for it. And if we don't get it, we're going to go for it the next time.
And the Tigers have their offense in high gear. To the air on first down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down, second down coming.
All right, that's your goal. Separate man from ball. Try to get your shoulder in there on the catch point and really give him something to think about. Physically jar that football and knock it out. Nice job by the defender.
He'll try it again on 2nd and 10. Zings it complete to the right. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down. The Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. Wide receiver going in motion. From the gun, the ground game. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground. That is a baller.
Quarterback making adjustments. Now the play fake. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll throw it. Makes the catch. It's Johnson. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few. We've come to the end of the period, and Notre Dame has the lead. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second. So they go back to work after the break, and it is 3rd down. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
On 4th down, looking to pass. Catch in the middle, it's Johnson. There he goes. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense.
Well, it's a heck with being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a chip shot field goal with where they were on that 4th down, but they decide to go for it, throw it. They're looking for 6. They're going for a touchdown. They are being aggressive.
On the ground, it's Rasmussen. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
After that last loss, it's 2nd and 12. Trying play action. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
The defense just simply not fooled by the play action. Oftentimes as an offense, you're hoping the run fake's going to slow down those pass rushers, but man, oh man, they had their ears pinned back.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Under fire. Incomplete. Looked as if he had his man, but just a misfire from this senior.
They've done a nice job marching the football down the field to get into this position in the red zone. You throw an incomplete on 3rd down, so the question now, are you going for a touchdown, try to pay this drive off, or are you just going to take the points?
He slides that just inside the right upright. That'll bring him to within 4.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. Wants to go up top on first down. Takes a hit as he fires. Got him downfield. Oh, he's got some space. Just what they were looking for. A huge explosive play, and they're inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
And this defense is figuring out early in this football game, man, they've got to be dialed in because this passing attack, it's lethal because they get it to their speedsters, and after their catch, they're really good. Got to tighten up that coverage and get those guys on the ground when they catch the football.
They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. Operating in the red zone here on second down. Wants to go up top. Lets it go to the end zone. Had it in his hands for the score and let it fall to the turf. It'll be third down.
And drops hurt as it is. But when you drop it and you know you just missed out on a touchdown, those really sting. And those concentration drops, man, it makes the quarterback hesitate whether he wants to throw the football again. That is a big missed opportunity.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. Fires to the end zone. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
I love the defense's approach on this drive. They didn't panic. They gave up some yards, but what did they do? They forced a third down, a predictable situation, played great discipline, broke on the football, and forced the big interception.
Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. David, they couldn't pay off that last drive with a touchdown.
Now, they moved the ball down the field and executed like they wanted to until they stalled out and had to settle for a field goal.
I think if you want to take the next step, too, here and score a touchdown, you got to start finding more creative ways to get your best players the ball. Let's see if they can do that here.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Throwing right. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up.
I tell you what, it puts you in a tough position when you're backed up inside your own 20 trying to come out. But when you're a defense and you can force a turnover and you already set your offense up in scoring position, they are going to be extremely happy, and that offensive coordinator is going to look extremely smart.
Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you. And I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent. He's making bad decisions.
Really good job working through his progression. You get it to him quickly, and the big tight end has a chance to run a little.
And a really good job by the QB throwing an accurate throw. I got to hit those guys on the move, on the run, so they can do this. They can catch the football, get upfield, and chew up some extra yards.
Just working and poking and prodding and finding his way up to the 36. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5.
Well, I know he was struggling to get going early in this game. That right there, though, was easily his best run so far. Now, this is one of the more talented running backs you're going to see in the entire nation. They need more runs like that to get this offense going if they're going to win this game.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
He'll throw on third down. Just a short pass to the tight end. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. They kick it away on fourth down. He makes a fair catch, couple of steps inside his own 25 at the 23-yard line. They go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. On the direct snap, it's James. Got a little space. Breaks into the open. They bring him down, but that's why you give them that Wildcat look to create an opportunity for big plays.
And listen, the offensive line has to do their job, but a really good job by the running back understanding where his hole is. Go hit it, get the first down, don't mess around. Nice job following his hole, getting positive yards.
Ball is at the 35. It's 1st and 10. Looking downfield on first down. With the catch, it's Harris. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
This offense is clicking, everything working together really well. Coordinator, quarterback, offensive line, good rhythm, good flow. Defense is going to have to find something to kind of mess up this timing they got going on.
Got his man. At the 40, there he goes. He'll go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Big pickup there, and this offense is feeling it.
My goodness, this offense has got it rolling. They might put up a 50-burger. This defense, they don't have any answers right now. They're going to have to figure something out.
Unloads to the wideout. Complete to the left. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame!
You know, there's so many coaches out there in two-minute situations at the end of the half with a lead that'll just be happy taking the lead into halftime. This guy's staying aggressive, though. Pedal to the metal, David, and you saw it paid off there for the touchdown.
Yeah, and let's finish this half now. Now, we got a nice lead. Built a little bit of a lead, but the defense has to go back out there. There's still a little bit of time, so get that stop to keep that momentum you just got, and everybody will be jacked up at halftime.
Starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Makes the grab over the middle. Ball is loose. Recovers the fumble, and he's on the move.
Good awareness by the offense. You never want to see the ball on the ground, but a nice job understanding to just kind of jump on it and make sure you keep possession.
The drive continues after that fumble scare sent the offensive coordinator's blood pressure into orbit. Moving out of the pocket. It's incomplete. Good job by the defense sticking with its coverage.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Here's the handoff. Got enough for the first down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. The Tigers getting set on 1st and 10. Making side adjustments here. Gets the back moving. Looking to throw on first down. On the run, fires downfield. How about a little rhythm that you can tap your toe to on that throw and catch for the first down?
And this quarterback wasn't thinking about taking off and running with that one. He was outside the pocket, but he kept his eyes down the field. He kept reading the coverage. He was surveying to find an open target. Accurate throw, and they get the first down.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. Wants to throw on first down. Looking to the big tight end. On target over the middle. Makes the grab and knock down, and he's got it at the 25-yard line. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And it looks as if they're going to try a field goal. And this is not a straight-on kick, a 42-yarder from the right hash. Dead center perfect. That'll make it a one-possession game. The lead is 8.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
That late in the half field goal always gives you a little boost going to the locker room, and they'll need to finish off these final few seconds and not allow them to answer. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. One more snap coming before halftime. To the air on first down. Here's the pressure. The pass ball is incomplete, and that's how we'll finish this half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Ready to go here in the second half, and Notre Dame will kick it away. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Tight game as we start the third quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made at halftime.
And getting the ball first here, I think, is such a big deal. Like, I get the first chance to make a statement, to make the adjustments, to create some momentum for my squad right here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think it's so important for this offense to set the tone here early in the second half, to get a nice drive going, build that confidence, and get your defense ready to come on out, get a stop, and change the complexity of this game.
To the air on second down. Makes the grab on the left. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. He got to the defender, he was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for the first.
They'll try the run. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7. Went to the running game on first down. Now here they come again. Hands it off. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Caught near the sticks. It's Johnson. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one, but we know who he really wants to go to on third down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
They make the stop at the 37, but not before he's got 10 yards and the first down. And the Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete. Well, will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Wants to adjust the pattern. Second and 10, he'll throw again. Finds the tight end. And there might have been trouble if they hadn't gotten to him immediately.
It's so important that this offense is able to stay on schedule. What that means is keeping third downs management. That last completion to the tight end accomplished just that. Really nice play.
A third down play coming from the 32 as they try to keep the drive going. From the gun, wants to pass. Gets it out fast. He'll go out of bounds right at the 23-yard line.
Well, the tight end shows off his speed. You see his ability there to separate from the defender trying to cover him on that drag route.
Down to the 23 for this first and 10. Handoff to the lone back. Turning it on! He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line and a big red zone opportunity here. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Tigers can really attack on this second and short. Just feeds the running back. And he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by the big defensive tackle.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. We talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far...
Oh, it's a fumble! And they were lucky that fumble went out of bounds. They'll maintain possession.
You start to get that offense going and start having success, you've got to make sure when you get closer to the scoring range, I take care of that football. If you don't, coach is going to go, you on the sideline, you in the game.
A first down run in the red zone. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Clemson. Timely decisions, effective play management helps him get in the end zone after that marathon drive.
And every time the offense needed to play, boom, they got it. I mean, you think about it. Whether it's a small run, small pass, whatever they needed, they got it done, and they popped it in for the score.
They'll go to the air. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
That keeps the score. Notre Dame, 21, Clemson, 19.
Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Here he comes from midway in the end zone. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll start this drive with a pass. Snagged in the middle. It's James. There he goes. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 44.
And that's a good lesson for quarterbacks out there. When you're throwing to your running backs, if you get it to them early and they've got some space around them, they can do damage. And that's exactly what happened there. These guys are trained to be great once they have the ball in their hands. He makes people miss. He shows you the speed, and it's a big chunk play in the pass game.
Got it set up on the outside. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the first down. That was just a perfectly choreographed screen. The line got out on time. The running back had a wall in front of it.
And I think the quarterback did a really good job of selling pass, then kind of dodging the pass rush, getting it to the running back, and then let him do the rest. You got him in space, he'll pick up yards in a hurry.
Shakes off the defender. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down.
You just sense the frustration starting to build, not only on offense, but I think with this running back as well. He is so talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the second half.
Man, the evolution of the quarterback position. Basically, you should call them running backs who throw the ball really well now.
And guys, you know the other thing that happens here is that sets up the next play because you've sort of left the defensive line gassed trying to run down the quarterback.
Oh, you got to be in shape, chasing it around all day on design runs, on scrambles, and, you know, it's just, and the +1 advantage you get by having that guy. It's so hard to defend.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Guys, we've come to the end of the quarter, and Notre Dame has the lead. And sitting in a good spot as we wrap up the third. Let's take a look at our game stats while we have a break in the action. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the fourth quarter. Starting off this quarter, close enough to smell the goal line. He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick his way to the end zone. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on second down, this little third to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter.
And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Irish!
This is like having an extra running back in your backfield. This quarterback is magic. When he decides to keep the football, he can make people look absolutely silly. He shows you on that play.
And the extra point is good, and the lead is 9 here in the fourth. So it's an 80-yard drive, and close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Might be calling a hot route. Trying to get the edge on the right. Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Picked off. What a play to set him up. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
It doesn't get any better for your defense. You know exactly the situation in the fourth quarter. Everything in your favor. Don't let them make big plays. How about you make a big play? Nice job getting the interception. It's not icing on the cake yet. It's getting pretty close.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if they're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let...
Touchdown, Fighting Irish! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. They push the lead out here in the fourth quarter and close to getting back on track and going 2-1. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
And it's now the second time this wide receiver has scored. Another outstanding job with the route. Great job securing the catch.
And the extra point is good, and the lead swells to 16, and it's getting late. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, back to your game in a moment, but first we have to show you how the script is being written here. Georgia State is trailing right now, but I'm not ready to say this team is out of it. Not after the way this group has rallied around that coach. It really has been something to see. It's still a one-score game. They're trailing by 8 to Appalachian State. Sun Belt, Fun Belt. We'll circle back if anything big happens. You should know about it.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us.
And if I'm a defense, dude, I am perfectly fine with this. Like, I'm not giving up big plays. I'm keeping everything in front of me. The probability of them going the length of the field twice and getting two-point conversions is very, very small. So stay patient. Don't get over your skis.
This defense has a lot of speed, especially in the secondary, and you saw that speed. That defender got to that receiver so quick, and because of the hit, incomplete pass.
Here's a heat. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and fourth down's coming.
And you got to expect this offense to go for it again here on fourth down, right? Obviously trailing. We're in the second half, but we saw them try to go for it on fourth down early. Didn't have any success. They've got to dial up a better play here.
Quarterback may change this route. They're throwing for it on fourth down. Fires to the big fella. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
In the situation we're in, down 2 possessions, they obviously had to go for that one. And because they're not able to come up with it, it looks like they're going to be leaving this stadium with an L.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. On the run, it's James. Relying on that running game, and it works for about 3 yards to the 31.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football. You preserve the lead. You got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
It's got to be tough right now on defense. You need to find a way to get a stop, and you haven't been able to do that in the fourth quarter. You've been giving up points. You just gave up a touchdown in the last drive. You need a turnover. You need to do something right now to stop this momentum.
And if they can find the end zone here, that might be all she wrote. First and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer.
And the offense trying now to put this thing away. They're going to keep running the football to keep bleeding the clock. They've got the lead here late, now down by the goal line. Just take as many seconds off the clock as you can before snapping this football and keep running.
They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. Third and goal, and let's see if they can even operate in this noise. Trying to barge in. Touchdown, Notre Dame! And the pummeling has started. As they push that lead out, a really good opportunity to get back in the win column. They'll try to add another to their lead.
And I love the physicality of this offense. It's 3rd and goal. It's money time. I've got to be more physical than you. And that's exactly what this offense just did. Put the ball on the ground and put it in the end zone.
Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Quarterback making checks. Looking downfield on 1st down. Going for it all. And it's incomplete. They were looking for the huge gain on 1st down.
One of the biggest reasons today why this offense is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it, but you got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively, trying to confuse this quarterback, and again, on that last deep shot, it falls incomplete.
And this defense has really done a good job containing this superstar quarterback. But now it's a big-time moment. In the 4th quarter, you know the ball's going to be in his hands. Got to get to him. Got to ruffle his feathers, hit him a few times, make him feel uncomfortable.
He goes out of bounds after a solid gain on the play.
Man, this defense has their hands full today because not only do they have to worry about the running backs and not only do they have to worry about the passing game, they've got to worry about this quarterback running the football because of plays like that. Not a huge explosive play, but he showed you the athleticism, and he showed you he has the ability to hurt you with his legs.
Looking for a chunk play on 2nd and short. Makes the grab. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the 4th quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to have to make a play.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Using his feet to buy time. It's complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
One of the things that makes this quarterback so dangerous is how accurate he can be when he's on the run. And he's a guy that's looking to throw. He's not looking to take off himself. Showed you that accuracy on that play to get the first.
He might want another play. Looking to throw on 1st down. He's got his man. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup. Clock stops and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. This offense looking for anything to cut into this big lead. The Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Wants to throw it. Fired that thing out in a heartbeat, but it's incomplete.
And this defense has put a game together. It is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game today.
They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense.
You know, when you're handing off to your fullback, oftentimes these guys need some space to work so they can build up a head of steam and get the speed going, but that guy didn't have anywhere to go on that one.
On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. It's complete on the right side. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks. And that can really take the wind out of a defense's sails when you convert with a 4th down completion.
Great chemistry there between the quarterback and his target. 4th down, you got to have it. You got to be on the same page, and they were there.
Bought a little time, lets it go. It's Pater late in the game. Getting aggressive here and going for 2. Wants to go up top. Here comes the heat. Throw to the end zone. picked off.
2-point plays, the windows are very small to throw into. That time, he just tried to force it into a tiny window. It ended up being picked, and the offense comes away with no points.
At this point, a comeback would take one of the biggest miracles in the history of the sport, but they'll line up for the onside kick. And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it.
And that is why they're called the hands team, people, on onside kicks. Great job jumping on that ball.
Here come the Irish, back on offense. Firmly in control of this game. We'll see if they just try to run out the clock and get out with a victory.
Everybody on offense here should feel really good about their performance today, too, David. They had a really good game plan coming in this one, and they went out and they executed at a very high level.
Yeah, lights out, and this game's over. I'm interested to see the philosophy now. Do we keep chucking the pill and keep trying to score points? Because it's the defense's responsibility to stop them, or do they just run this clock and say, all right, we did enough today. We kicked them in the face.
Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. A lot of ground to cover here on 4th down. All business today for this ball club. They come out and they get the win.
And that's all that matters. It's not always pretty. You don't always do everything you want to do or check all the boxes. But at the end of the game, Jesse, you want that W.
No doubt about it. They made the plays they needed to make in order to get this win. I thought the quarterback showed tremendous poise, good leadership throughout the course of the game. Defense made stops when they had to make them. So, right, there were some things that are going to need to clean up moving forward, but ultimately they were the better team today.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.